Yo, y'all let me know if I'm upside down. Yeah, they do got me upside down. Okay, now they telling me I can't. One second, y'all. I clearly just recorded horizontal the other day. What up, what up, what up? I'm trying to see if I can read the comments from the phone. Yo, I need somebody to come in. Peace, 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 peace. Peace, 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 peace. Hey, I need to talk to somebody. I'm tired of talking to myself. Somebody raise their hand for me to tag them in. Whoever trying to jump in, raise your hand. I'm about to address the topic the post that I made yesterday about yo, Jonathan was cracking. Yo, Abby, you trying to jump in on this? I need somebody to talk to. Somebody raise their hand who's trying to jump in on this live. Chris, let me know if you're trying to jump in. Raquel, let me know if you're trying to jump in. First person that raised their hand, I'm clicking them in. Who else on here? Yo, Chris, where you at? Santiago, what's cracking? Drew, what's cracking? Come on, y'all. I ain't trying to talk to myself. That shit's getting played out. Let me see here. All right, let me go back to my post. So the post I made yesterday stated, or asked the question, which of the following issues is holding the greatest negative impact on your life? So my response to that is that we solve our problems by becoming part of the actual solution to those problems. Peace, Aldo, what's cracking? Santiago, what's up? Who jumping in on this live? Raise your hand. So we solve the problem side solutions by being We solve the problems of our lives by becoming part of the actual solution. That's what happens. Mars Scott, Andrea, what's good? Now, what some of the biggest issues that I have or that I see is what's up, bro? What's cracking? Joshua, what's good? Is that we have to find some type of way to buy back our time. We got to find some type of way to buy back our time. We are in some sort of time matrix. We wake up, we go to work, or some people go to work, or go to school, then go to work, come home, eat, sleep, shit, do the same thing all over again. On the weekend, whether we off on weekends or off on a weekday, those are the days we probably party hard, get stone-faced it, just to enjoy a little bit of our lives that we have left outside of our jobs or places of employment. And then we go back to the regular scheduled program. Some of us are even working six days a week, if not 7 days a week. Nobody should be working, especially for anybody else, 6 days a week. At all. Should not be working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week for anybody on the planet. It's like no amount of money in the world is worth that much of your time. So, and we always give ourselves those excuses like, well, I gotta do this, I gotta pay bills, I gotta blah, I gotta take care of my kids, I gotta, but the thing is that you're up under the illusion that, and you don't have the confidence and understanding to know that if you dedicated half of those hours into something, into you in general, you will be able to produce some type of outcome in which that outcome would ultimately result in some sort of income. So investing into yourself to produce an outcome will in return give you some sort of income. There's no easy way to quit your job. You just gotta develop the art of saying, you know what, fuck this, I'm done. I'm about to live my life. I'm about to do what I want to do. If you come home from work, you're exhausted every day, you're stressed out, you can't really enjoy yourself when you are off because you're thinking about having to be back at work the next morning. So you want to do more resting because you got to rest up because you only got about a 24 to 48 hour layover before you go back to work. If you're not able to do the things that you truly want to do in your life outside of family, friends, kids, and stuff like that, I'm talking about you, because that's another matrix. Your world revolves around yourself as opposed to just going to work or just providing for other people and other things around you. It's like, okay, what about you? What about you? So we got to ask ourselves, what is it that we want to do? What is it that we enjoy doing? And what one thing that you enjoy doing that will actually benefit people around you? What's up, Jason? What can you do to help the next person? In return, which will at the same time help you. We got to stop thinking we need a whole lot of money to start our own businesses. When I read the last question I asked yesterday, Let me go back to it. A lot of people have picked, I mean, it's pretty much an even balance on the issues that people said that were holding them back. Child support, child custody, driver's license, work-related, criminal background, or other. See, if we're able to take control over and break the concept of time, then we will have time to realize the majority of this shit is nothing but a bunch of bullshit. And we'll be able to break free from the bullshit because we'll have time to. We'll have time to put in the time to understand these in particular things and understand the gatekeepers and the players behind the board. And once we reveal the weak players behind the board, we can then unplug the video game or become the controllers of the game. And now guess who's being played now? Now we play the system. We play the same game on them that they play on us, just simply by overstanding and recognizing game. So it's game recognized game, right? At some point in time, we can't keep using these things as excuses. If we keep telling you that child support is a third-party agency that has no jurisdiction over you besides the jurisdiction and power and control that you give them. If we keep telling you the same thing about child custody, they are taking over your lives and the lives of your children because you have not stated that you are alive, you are well, and you are competent, and you are at the age and level of maturity that you can manage your own affairs. So the government and the state has no other alternative but rise up under the assumption that you cannot take care of your own affairs. So that being a fact, or the assumption or presumption, now they are here to provide those services for you. So now we have all these pre-appointed secretaries. Secretary of State, Secretary of Transportation, Secretary of Treasury, the clerk, the judge, the police officer, the this, the that, the that. All these people are playing the position in our lives that we are supposed to be managing. So since we can't manage them, because most of us are not aware of those areas in our lives that are out of our control, that should be in our control, because we don't have enough time to even realize what we have control over and what we don't have control over, because we at work every day from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. punching the clock. Some of us are waking up in nightmares, thinking they're supposed to be at work, thinking they're running late. People be running the register at work so much, they wake up talking about, how am I take your order? You like, damn, that was just a dream. But in all actuality, it's a reality that you got to get your ass up in the next couple hours or your ass going to be fired. So how do we stop these issues? We stop these issues by waking up one day and realizing that, you know what? I'm worth more than this 9-to-5 job. Now, that's not to say all jobs, all work is all created equal and it has a negative impact on us. Some of us actually are in the middle of great opportunities or work-related opportunities where it allows you to actually provide a service and get a decent amount of return, called income, in which, if you were smart, you would use that income and return in exchange for your energy to invest into yourself. So making that place of business or temporary employment, they will play the role of just being your sponsors. So you show up, you do something for them, and they do something for you. You get paid, they get their work done, everybody's happy, it's no stress. and then you have money to do what you have to do. Then you have money to do what you want to do. So some of us actually have good jobs where it allows you still to have an outside life of your own. But rather you use that outside life time that you have on your hands for leisure, pleasure, or to utilize as a greater benefit of self. The choice is yours. Me personally, even in the past of working 2 jobs or working 60 hours a week, 12 hours a day, 13, 14 hours a day, I still come home and get right up on that computer and invest time back into myself. Whether it's 3, 4, 5 hours a day. It don't matter how much time. The harder I work for somebody else, that gave me the more motivation to work for myself. I refuse to come home and not invest at least the same type of energy into my own self, my own dreams, my own desires, my own wishes, my own vision. So, if in return that gives me little to no sleep temporarily, that's a risk I'm willing to take, because I understand the temporary sacrifice you got to do. It all revolves around this. You got to do what you want to do. You got to do what you got to do in order to do what you want to do. You know? Simple as that. We have to become the masters of walking away. Once a job or anything related, a job, a person, a thing, starts to take energy away from you being yourself and the time that you need to put into yourself to accomplish the things that was meant for you to accomplish while you're here on this planet, then that shit is not for you. Some people said credit is stopping them. We can no longer keep using this as an excuse, because we already understand what credit is. We already understand how to defend ourselves with credit, how to rebuild credit. But the problem is that many of us now have the answers, but we don't have the time, or we don't sacrifice the time, because we have become dependent, not independent. We claim independence, but many of us, 90% of people out here, really are not truly ready to be fully independent, because the reality of independence, meaning that shit got to be done on your accord, or it's not going to be done at all. You have to be your own supervisor. You're responsible for everything. So you pulling the plug on a 9-to-5 job removes all that puts all that responsibility back on you. The main reason most of us show up for work on time is because the fear of being fired, being unemployed, and not being able to provide for ourselves, because we don't know no other way outside of that place of employment, or the concept of working a job for someone else, because we haven't mastered the art and understanding our power to create our own in order to survive on our own. So we're dependent upon becoming hired. Everybody wants to be self-employed, independent, bosses and bossettes, but can't really break the fear factor, or don't have the discipline, determination, and dedication to make something out of nothing. And it's a skill you got to acquire in order to turn something out of nothing. You really got to get your grind on. You have to be self-educated, self-motivated, You have to be a master of utilizing your resources. You have to be a master of attracting people of value. You have to understand how to give value, how to exchange equal value amongst people around you, how to manage circles, families, friends, and just how to grind like no other. A simple test to see if you're ready, to know if you're ready for this lifestyle is this. Imagine yourself being fired. If the first thing that comes up, if the first thing that pops in your mind is an application, you're not ready. The second you get fired, or the concept of you, or reality of you walking away from a job, should damn near be a sense of relief. If your first reaction is not a sense of relief, but instead a sense of fear, that's yourself telling yourself you're not ready and prepared for this independent lifestyle. Independence means it's all on you. It ain't on nobody else. Nobody's gonna pay you but you. Nobody's gonna get you paid but you. Nobody's gonna make that happen but you. You gotta create it. A lot of us have good ideas, but don't know how to make those good ideas make us money. Some of us don't know how to communicate with people. Some of us don't know the basics of business. Manage your money. Because you have to become a master of managing money. Because now you're not guaranteed to get that check every Friday or every 2 weeks. So you don't realize you become handicapped in a way financially and dependent upon a certain return cycle. See, it's hard to break yourself from being accustomed to the time cycle. Like, yo, I know I'm getting $1,000 every 2 weeks. Every Friday I'm gonna have that $1,000 or that $2,000, however much you get paid. See, it's a different type of beast and fire that gotta grow inside you to really push you to a certain level of success and survival in the world of independence. Because now you don't know when that next check gonna come. You don't know, and you don't know who gonna give you that next check. So when that's something that you don't really know, that's a hard pill to swallow, and that a lot of people are afraid of that. And people will say people are in general, afraid of that reality. Not only for themselves, of course, but then of course if they have families that depend on them. But the only thing I would say is that the more people that you have depending on you, the more that reality should drive your fire to eliminate the aspect of failure or the possibility of failure. The more people that I'm responsible for, I have more of a reason why I can't lose. So at this point, it doesn't matter the circumstances. It doesn't matter, I don't know when the next dollar is going to come. 'Cause all I know is that it has to come. So for the simple fact that next dollar has to come, it's going to come. It's going to come because I'm going to make it come. So now I become the controller now. I'm the producer and the creator. Back into my original state. The original state of being and operating. And one of the most misunderstood secrets of that is, or has nothing to do with the art of actually working for some money or working to do. It has not. You need to apply action to every thought, but the concept of, see, money is a frequency. Money is a vibration. The only thing I know is this, and it's been the solid truth ever since I tasted it. You have to feel the money. You have to feel where the money is, so that you just naturally go where the money is, or the money naturally comes to you. It's not about how hard you're working. It's actually you should work hard. You should work hard for what you want and what you desire, but ultimately you gotta think about it. The most rich and wealthiest people in the world, they don't work very hard. They don't have a concept of like we gotta work. You know, I work 7 days a week and blah blah blah, making ends meet, and I ain't about none of that. It should be very smooth sailing if you're doing things right on the energy wave. Meaning that your concern, it's like you have to make money, you have to be successful, but you have to eliminate the concept of worry and fear of not having the money. You have to know and believe that the money will be there absolutely when you need it, as you need it. The second you stop believing that is the second you will regain and be back in the position of being dependent upon something else or someone else outside of you. Sit by yourself for a little while and create something. Create something that's going to be beneficial to somebody else. Beneficial to the people around you. Create it. And don't think about the rules. Don't think about getting permission from this person or this entity, or don't think about none of that. Just think about the idea. Just create the idea and remove all limitations. Whatever roadblock that comes in the middle of the road, you will surpass it. Because we get stuck with I got a great idea, but I'm going to need this, I'm going to need that, I'm going to need this. But you do need to think about the idea and properly plan it and realistically plan it. Of course, you don't want to start a record store, probably in this day and age. You don't want to be outside selling records, vinyls. Well, you could, but it's not about what you do, it's how you do it. You got to understand that the reality, hey, it's 2018, the way technology is right now, records are not a high seller right now as far as vinyls. You know, that's like selling Walkmans or cassette tapes. But it may be a market into classic vinyls and cassettes and stuff like that. So if you had some type of situation where you had a resource to obtain, classic and antique material, that makes sense. And you will be provided. You'll be one of the main providers, because it'll be a low competition in that area, because where the world is right now, everybody's on MP3s and WAV files. Everything is digital. CDs are about to be obsolete. So it's not about what you do, it's how you do it, and always being realistic within yourself. And once you've gone through all those channels within yourself and utilize your own common sense, and asking the proper people for opinions and utilizing their advice and their experience from the proper people. And I say the proper people because many of us ask, the first people that we ask for advice are the people that are next to us, like family and friends, just because they're family and friends, right? But a lot of times those are the last people you want to ask for advice. Because you're asking them for advice on something that they probably want to have the heart to try to do themselves. You can't ask a person that's never had their own business advice on starting what you should do in your own business. You can't ask these type of people that. They don't have a fucking clue at all on what it's like, on what needs to be done, on what mind frame you need to be on to accomplish these things. They don't know. It doesn't matter how old they are. It don't matter if they mom or dad. These people don't know. They don't understand the type of mind you have to be in, the type of sacrifices you have to make, the type of self-management you have to make ends meet. Because the first stages is this. The first stage to independence is first you have to figure out how to F you gonna survive. That's step one. What am I gonna do to survive? How am I gonna just survive? So survival is first. So after you accomplish that, you're able to survive, meaning you're able to eat. You have shelter. You're able to transport yourself from one place to another, even though you're not operating in commerce and not operating in transportation when you're on the road. But you're able to travel from point A to point B. Now you've accomplished step one, level one. Level two. Now it's about time for you to start being able to live life now. Live a comfortable life, just like you would if you was working a 9-to-5 job, when you had that sense of comfortability. So that means you need to have enough, generate enough income to survive and to live your life. So, hey, I'm gonna go buy this today. Hey, I need a new TV. I need a new computer. Okay, just buy it. Even though you're still budgeting, you're still doing everything that you're properly supposed to do and managing things accordingly. It's because you can't just spend. You can't just spend. It's a certain way you have to spend. Every time a dollar goes out, you have to mentally and spiritually visualize that dollar and those dollars coming back 10 times fold. If not, it's very quick to get back to zero. Your bottom line has to change. When I say bottom line, I know a lot of people that don't understand the concept or don't believe that they make enough money to save. People that work 9-to-5 jobs, people work 9-to-5 jobs, and some people actually make some decent amount of money. Same people that make a decent amount of money still never evolve and reach a certain level or heights of financial independence, because they tend to be programmed in a way where it's like the more money they make, the more money they spend. So it's not like, oh, I go from making $10 an hour to $30 an hour. I know people that's making $30-$40 an hour and still talking about when I get paid next week. And not because they're saving, it's because they're jacking off all the money, throughout the week, living that life. But you're supposed to make when you go from a certain pay grade to another, when you first make that next jump, you're supposed to spend the same amount of money that you was spending when you was on level 1. When you get to level 2, until you get to level 3, then you can spend a little bit more. But you always got to be a level ahead of your pay grade. And the ultimate rule in finances and financial management is paying yourself before you pay anybody. I don't give who you owe, what utilities, rent, car note, telephone. They don't get their money because they have to, I guess, right? If you want to continue that service, but you got to understand that you have to pay yourself first. Because if you don't have it, she's not in here. Because if you don't have it, then they not gonna have it. So it don't matter anyway. If you're not good, if you're not getting no money, they can't get no money. So it makes more sense to pay yourself first. And when you pay yourself, it could be something simple because the money adds up. If you can just consistently say, you know what, every pay I'm gonna pay myself 20% each paycheck. Each paycheck. Well, I was doing I was doing between 30%. I was doing at least 30%. 30% of each check I'm paying myself in the bank account, shoebox, several bank accounts. It's good. See, money is like manure. You got to spread it out. If you spread out the manure evenly across the crops, something magically happens. Go outside, you water it. A few weeks later, voila. Now you have these beautiful crops. These beautiful, healthy crops. But if you don't spread it out, if you don't spread out the pile of manure, you're just going to wake up every day to a pile of shit. And that shit stinks. The moral of the story is you got to spread it out. A bank account here, a bank account there, a bank account here. Shoebox money. It's going to get to the point where you're going to be like, damn, I forgot I had that money right there. Because you're challenging yourself and reprogramming yourself not to take from yourself only in the sake of emergencies. Meaning that you're removing the fact out your mind that money even existed. That 30% that you're taking out to invest into yourself and to pay yourself doesn't exist in your check. Don't even look at it. Don't miss, because guess what? When you get that check every week or every 2 weeks, you're not missing that shit. They've been taking out your check for Medicaid and federal taxes and state taxes. You just accept it. Even though we a lot of us still look at it like, damn, but sometimes they going crazy with these taxes now. You're like, damn, but you gonna look at it, say damn, and keep moving. So they getting they cut before you get paid. So you need to make sure you pay yourself too, and not just getting. We're not here to be currency exchanges, meaning that we're just going here to invest our time and energy to get a piece of paper, to go cash it, and then to go give it to Joe Blow and Bill and his friends. No, that's not what we're here for. We've been created to do more than just attend a job or to attend a particular, to go to school for these generalized subjects. We have a purpose outside of all of that pre-programmed materials. So that means we have to understand the science on properly managing ourselves and our lives to complete these tasks, these generalized tasks, quick enough and efficiently enough to, and then get back to our regular scheduled program, which is the purpose of us being here. If you're not serving your purpose, what is your purpose? That's what we got to ask ourselves. If you're not serving your purpose, what is your purpose? How many years have you invested outside of yourself? Right? And how many years can you afford to continue to stop or to not invest into yourself? At this point in time, many of us are starting to understand time is not slowing down, it's actually speeding up, which means we are losing time. So we need to be spending our time to retrack and reclaim the time that we have lost, let alone the time that's already passing us by at this present moment. Is no other time or no better time than now. Stop waiting till tomorrow. Stop putting shit off. That procrastination shit is not gonna do nothing but slap you in the face full of regrets. The last thing you want to do is wake up 65 years old telling your granddaughters and god kids, I wish I would, I wish I could have. And I wanted to do this and I could have done that. You could have, would have, should have, but didn't. So somebody needs to be, we need to surround ourselves with people that influences us in a positive way and gives us that push to tells us like, hey, get the fuck up and do it. Quit talking about it. Quit talking about it. And another rule about talking about it. There's a sin about talking about it before you do it. Talking about an action before action is applied. or before you put that action into the universe. The meaning of that is that if you come up with a creative idea, especially is extremely dangerous when a person has not already mastered themselves and created their own protection over their own creativity. Because we tend to come up with creative ideas and stuff like this, and the first thing we want to do is tell somebody about it. And the people, a lot of times the people that we're telling are not the people that are going to protect our creation. And when I say protect our creation, I mean that a lot of people are telling people and expressing and revealing our personal and private creations to people that are really envious against us and really hope for your failure. You mess around, tell somebody your bright idea, and they throw some stuff out there in the universe that can interfere with the whole generation of that creation. So to avoid that, we need to learn how to start creating first. Once you create it, the creation cannot be destroyed. Only the creator can destroy it. So if you want to tell somebody what you did after you did it, that's the safe way of going about it. Because there are people out here that are also playing the roles of conscious and subconsciously spiritual creation killers. You think you telling somebody that give a shit about your ideas? You think you talking to somebody that really care about you being successful? Some of us don't realize we talking to people that really will jump over a cliff if you become more successful than them. You got to be careful from these people. Be very careful on who you share your thoughts and ideas with. If you are a creator, which we all are, but many of us have losing ourselves. But once you come back into your form of creation and your godly-like self as a creator, you need to only build with other creators. You need to only build with other producers. If the people you talk to every day do not challenge you, those are the wrong people to be in your immediate circle. We have to understand the science of loving people from afar. Just because I grew up with you, don't mean that we gonna be like right here every day. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. Like you not my inner circle just because you grew up with me. We went to school with each other. We went to the first grade. We grew up on the same block. Or nah, if we not still right here, we ain't gonna be right here like that. You still cool. No love lost. Love will never be lost, but it needs to be a proper management of immediate circles. We got to understand too. A lot of times we have to make it to a certain level first before we start inviting people or bringing people with us. Because naturally we want to bring all our friends. If we want to, come on y'all, we can do this, y'all. Y'all be having all these bright ass ideas, over smokes and drinks. Oh yeah, man, we can make a lot of money, man. We can blah blah blah, man. I'm talking about y'all talk for hours. Wake up the next day and shit. You call them like, man, so you still trying to go over there to the store and grab those materials? Oh man, I ain't gonna even be able to do it, man. You think shit, we probably could do that shit tomorrow. See? And then what you do? We naturally, since we want to do it together, since that was the image that we drew, and naturally we kind-hearted people, we want to do things together with people that we love and that we grew up with, and family and friends. So what happens is we never execute anything out. We sit up and we wait for them to follow us or to be ready and prepared. And you'll realize that most of these people will never be prepared. Most of these people will never be ready to make that type of jump in life. Or they might not have really wanted to do that in particular thing anyway. It just sounded good the night y'all was drinking and having fun and kicking it. Sake of conversation. Me, I don't just do talk stuff. That's why I only deal with people that's really about what they say. Because if I'm sitting up talking to you, for one, we need to be talking about something. And we need to be talking about something that's real. And something that's gonna happen like tomorrow. Or very soon. It's like, because I don't have time to waste time. Even if I'm kicking it. There's no such thing as free time. My time is extremely valuable because I could be doing something else at that present time. Let me see who all on here, man. Yo, Jimmy, what's goody, bro? Long time no see. Let's see if somebody ready to jump on here with me, man. Who jumping on, man? I can't stand talking to myself, man. I can't stand not hearing a voice. I'm a dialogue type person. Raquel, you tripping. Supposed to be ready. We have to deal with people that want to be in a position of power. But we got to be real careful, though. Because when the journey to reaching and obtaining a certain level of power comes a lot of darkness before you get to the light. And I'm saying that because on that journey, a lot of people that may be going along with that journey with you through certain levels. Once you guys start elevating, somebody might start escalating a lot further along than the next person. And if that person is you, the other person might feel some type of way. So they might try to latch on and bring you down and disencourage you. It's a very few people in this type of people in this world, especially in my culture, that really, truly, genuinely will see somebody growing and developing at a tremendous rate, and they will, even though it's very few friends out here that actually push you up and be like, I don't care if you make it first. In our culture, we have a problem with allowing the next person to make it first if they're putting in the work to make it first. See, what we need to understand, the power of that is that we need to understand that there is so many areas in this world that need to be covered. Therefore, one person can't cover all these areas, but one person may be able to cover one. So if one out of the two of us is further along and engaged in this area and is gaining more success in this area, it is your responsibility as a true friend to help that person elevate. So we can secure that. If they got that under control, let them stay on that field. You spoke. I could be doing something over here because we still got the outfield over there. That's why the concept of like in sports, you have different positions. If everybody trying to be the damn quarterback, who gonna catch the ball? Who gonna run the ball to the touchdown? If everybody stay on the field, worry about their position and what the hell they're supposed to be doing, and showing up to the huddle, understanding the play, sticking to the play, sticking to the foundation and the guidelines within the play, we will be able to obtain success a lot faster as a unit together as opposed to individually. But it's kind of bad nowadays. The individual has to work 10 times harder because the individual now, since they don't get a lot, it's not a lot of aid and assistance out there for an individual that has the light, has the desire, has the passion, the drive, and everything to make things happen. That person will end up doing most of the shit themselves or getting to a certain position by themselves before people start coming out the woodwork and deciding to help. See, people like prefer to start coming out, feel comfortable coming out the woodwork once you've already obtained a certain level of success. So now everybody want to help you. Everybody want to be a part of the fucking movement now, right? Everybody want in, right? You've been doing the same thing for 10 years, and they watched you do the same thing for 10 years and didn't have no desire or acted like they had a desire but didn't really put too much time and energy to it, did start doing other things and doing that. You stuck to what you believed in, started accomplishing and becoming successful in that and living your life. And now everybody see the light. And now everybody want to be a part of that light. But now guess what? There's rules and regulations now. You got to build yourself up from the top now. You got to understand the game now. You can't just come right in and be right here now. It ain't the same deal now. It ain't 50-50 now. Because if I put in 93%, don't be mad at me because there's only 77% left for you to grab. That's all I'm saying. To be a power player, it is your job to help people around you obtain their level of success in the areas that they're great in. It's your job to help people be great. It's your job to help the right people be great. Because those same people that you helped and you assisted to be great, you gave them whatever you can give them that they needed from you to apply for themselves to be great in the areas that they're great in. Now in return, that's like a self-insurance policy. See, the people that I invest in, these people are my self-insurance policies. So now, when I need certain things, all I have to do is act like I need. Just open my mouth. No homo. All I have to do is speak. Hey, yo, I need that. I need this. And it's there. And vice versa. So these are people that are dependable. These are people that are trustworthy. These are people that are loyal and dedicated to themselves as well as you. And people that need you to be successful just as much as they need themselves to be successful. The second that you conquer that next goal and reach that next height, I feel more powerful. It's just like this. This is how the royal families think. The families actually hold the power of this world right here, this third dimensional world. Like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. Their friends are, it's like, they're not going to have regular friends, right? They can't afford to. So they're going to be like, so it's like, oh, we're going to help our friend get in the office. We're going to help our friend become the mayor. We're going to help our friend become the governor. Because when those friends obtain those seats, See, when your friend sits in the mayor's seat or the president's seat or the governor's seat, that's like you sitting in that seat. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it on the level that most of us can really relate to. Because most of us don't have mayor friends, governor's friends, whatever. So think about this. It's the same concept as when your best friend work at fucking Applebee's. You like, shit, I'm finna be up in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Instantly. My best friend work at Applebee's. I'm up in there. You gonna be up in there getting yo shit. You got the discounts, free food, free drinks, whatever. It's the same deal. Except we need to take that same concept and push ourselves on a higher level of consciousness. We need to expect more from ourselves and our peers. We need to push our friends and our family to reach higher. See, the problem is we're not reaching high enough, and we're allowing them not to reach higher enough. See, me and my friends are getting the straight brawls in the yard, because we gonna push each other and challenge each other on every level possible. There can't be any growth without challenge. That's a fact. There can't be any growth without challenge. You become who you are based on the things that you went through in your life. And the results of that determine whether you survived or you didn't. It's the outcome. It's our jobs to push our people. In order for you to be great, there needs to be somebody that you're pushing to be great. And there needs to be people around you that you're allowing to push you to greatness. And not instead of ignorance. Or surrounding yourself by settlers. We got to get out of the settler mind state. See, a lot of us are comfortable, and we are nowhere near, or should not have the audacity to feel any sort of comfort on a level some of us are acting on. Some of us sit back like we made it. Like, shit, I'm good now. I'm good. You got you a couple dollars in your pocket. Got you a house. You got you a car. I'm good. You good. What about your family, your generation? What about your bloodline? Who's protecting that? Who's protecting the family name? Who's building the family legacy? Who's being responsible for that? You good or you die? Guess what? You good, you gonna die, and that's it. The saga continues. So the next generation goes do the same thing. Born, go to school, work some job, or make some money somehow, have some type of career. You know, it don't matter how successful you are. See, this is the thing. You can't call yourself successful if you can't, if your level of success cannot uplift the people around you. I don't give a what you're doing. If your level of success cannot uplift the people around you, you are not doing for yourself truly, and nothing for nobody around you or your family legacy, especially if you're a man. As a man, that's our responsibility to invest into the family legacy, the family name. It's like, what are we doing these days? And ain't no more blaming the white man. Let's stop all that. Stop blaming the white man. We can do what the hell we want to do when we want to do it. See, the art of it is to stop taking no for an answer. The more they push you down, the harder you get up. And the faster you get up, the harder you fight. That's it. That's it. We gotta stop living on excuses and living with excuses. It's like turn up or turn the fuck down. That's the art of really turning up. You want to turn up, that's how you turn up. Yo, Rob, what's good, man? That's how you really turn up. That being said, I got a lot of work to do. I'm never comfortable. I'm not satisfied. So much work to be done. Because it's not about me. It's about everybody around me. And it's about what I leave when I'm gone. See, when you leave, what you left is supposed to be so powerful and potent. It's supposed to still go on like you still here. My name will forever be here and forever ring bells, forever have an impact. I'm leaving traces of myself in every element of expressing myself that I possibly can. And that's how you build and rebuild your power of creation and manifestation. Because once you think of, you shall have it. You have to. It's a thought first. From the thought, you have to apply some form of action. The second you get the idea, you need to start manifesting and bringing it into the universe. Write it down now. You thought it. Now, remember the hand. Just like when they talk about the Bible. That hand of God. You're writing through the Spirit. Your words. Now, after you write your words on that piece of paper, guess what? Now you can physically see your words, your thoughts, and your ideas. There's only one thing left to do now. For you to do everything that you wrote on that piece of paper to make that happen. I don't want to hear no more excuses about start by doing it. Of course, you might not be able to do everything right now. Do everything that you can do right now. I guarantee if you do every little thing that you can do right now, soon as you get done with that, the gate is gonna open for the thing that you couldn't afford to do at that present moment before, at the previous moment. Do everything in your power to accomplish what you can accomplish now. Then everything else gonna happen. That's guaranteed. It's facts. But yeah. About to get up out of here though. Let's stay up. Let's start bringing things into existence. Let's start motivating each other and uplifting each other. Let's push everybody to be great, fearless. There's no such thing as fear and no room for failure. That leaves you with one option: success. That's not to say shit don't get hard and difficult at times. The whole concept of not being of it being no concept or no reality of actual failure is the fact that the only time you can consider something a loss or failure if you didn't learn something from that. If you didn't learn something from that, that is a failure. That is a loss. But anybody that started from the bottom will tell you they learned more from their failures than their successes. And it was from the failures that taught them and gave them the understanding on how to be successful and to remain successful in whatever they was doing. And it had very little to do, it ended up having very little to do with actually physically doing things. But it had mostly to do with how they process what they think.